dreamt that I was an iguana laying on a rock in Puerto Rico. I was laying on this rock and soaking up the sun, and I was so happy, surrounded by these shifting forms and colors. I walked around the island as an iguana with bright scales that sort of reflected how happy I was about my own body. I was basking in an array of colors that knew me so intimately. And I remembered that these blooming hillsides and these shifting forms and colors that accompanied me as I walked as an iguana were gifts given to me by the island in the hopes that I would remember my own glory. I've had lots of these dreams. Dreams where I've had these scales that reflected how happy I was, where I walked around a sort of abstracted Puerto Rico. And I was so happy with how my body got to exist in this world, in this new way of looking at my island. And I was sitting in this green chair, absently drawing these sort of shifting forms and shapes that accompanied me on my walk and reflected my scales, when my mother called me. She called me in a panic because she had had a horrible dream. And she had to tell me her dream not long after having it and writing it down. It was important to her that I knew. I wrote down what she said. I didn't want to forget it. In her diary entry of this dream, she wrote, Señor, por favor déjame ser fuerte y valiente. Quédate conmigo. Last night I had a dream that my child was an iguana. She was bright green and covered in scales. I wrapped her up in the family mundio and left her with relatives in the mountains. I could not take care of her. Señor, lo siento. I could not take care of her. When I came back, I could not find her. I kept screaming, mi hija, mi hija, mi hija, mi hija. But she was lost. When I found her, she was still wrapped in the mundio. But she was lifeless. Oh, la culpa. Ay, señor, lo siento. I cried and prayed for my daughter to come back. Lloré tanto que un río cayó de mis ojos y arrastró nuestros cuerpos hacia las colinas y los árboles rojos. Mi hija, mi hija. I cried and I cried. I hope she returns when I wake up. Señor, por favor. Be strong and courageous, Laura. God will not abandon you. It's become true to me that our two dreams saw each other. That together they act as a language, a new language for us. A language to interpret what goes unsaid of how I've changed. A language to speak on everything that has gone unsaid about my post-transitioned body. I wish I could go to that moment where our two dreams met, because I know they did. I wish I could go to the moment where they sat and conversed for a moment. I wish she could sit with me in this room and paint what we think our new language looks like. Because to me, it's bright pink against a green background with cross-hatching and moving shapes. I know it's bright pink against this green background. And it's a perfect place where we can come together and reimagine our Puerto Rico. Where we can say the unsaid things. Because the unsaid things, they move so quickly in a way that the only way I can see them is if I attribute color and form to them. If I give them shape. Te amo mucho, mamá. Te amo mucho. Te amo mucho. Mm.